Most people trying to lose weight are focused on the wrong thing entirely. They're obsessing over food, counting every calorie, cutting entire food groups, and still not seeing results. That's because the factors that control how fast your body burns fat have almost nothing to do with what's on your plate. Here's what actually moves the needle. Strategy 1. Fix your sleep, and your hunger changes overnight. This is the one strategy that affects every single other strategy on this list. So if you only take one thing from this video, make it this one. When you sleep less than 7 hours, your body produces significantly more ghrelin, the hormone responsible for hunger signals. At the same time, your leptin levels drop, and leptin is what tells your brain you're full and satisfied. The result is that you wake up already in a physiological state that pushes you toward overeating, not because of weak willpower, but because your hormones are genuinely out of balance. A study published in the Annals of Internal Medicine tested this directly. 2 groups followed the same program. One group slept 8.5 hours. The other slept 5.5 hours. The well-rested group lost significantly more fat and preserved more muscle, even though the diet was identical. Less sleep didn't just slow results. It changed the composition of what was being lost. The practical target is 7 to 9 hours of consistent sleep. Same bedtime every night, cold and dark room, no screens in the last 30 minutes. Do this for 2 weeks and your hunger patterns will shift noticeably without changing a single meal. Strategy 2, walk more, and understand why the numbers actually add up. Walking feels too simple to work. That's the exact reason most people skip it. But the research on daily movement is some of the most consistent in the entire field of metabolism. There's a concept called NEAT, non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is the total calorie burn from all the movement in your day that isn't a structured workout. Walking, standing, climbing stairs, carrying things. Researchers have found that differences in daily NEAT between individuals can account for several hundred calories per day, sometimes reaching over 1,000 in highly active people versus completely sedentary ones. Here's what that means practically. 2 people can go to the same gym at the same time for the same workout, and one of them burns dramatically more total calories that day simply because they walked more, stood more, and moved more throughout the other hours. The target that most research points to for meaningful metabolic benefit is somewhere between 7,000 and 10,000 steps per day. If you're currently at 3,000, don't try to jump there immediately. Add 1 short 10-minute walk per day this week. That single change, done consistently, creates a compounding effect on your total daily energy expenditure that no single gym session can replicate. Strategy 3, build muscle and permanently raise your metabolic floor. Here's the honest version of something you've probably heard exaggerated before. Muscle tissue does burn more calories at rest than fat tissue. The numbers aren't dramatic per pound, but the effect is real and cumulative over time. More importantly, the act of building muscle through resistance training creates an elevated metabolic rate for 24 to 48 hours after each session as your body repairs tissue. That recovery process costs energy, and it happens whether you're sitting, sleeping, or going about your normal day. The practical implication is this: 2 or 3 resistance training sessions per week don't just burn calories during the workout. They make your body a slightly more active calorie-burning system in the hours and days that follow. Over months and years, that accumulates into a genuinely different metabolic baseline. You don't need a gym. Push-ups, squats, lunges, rows with a resistance band, done consistently, are enough to create this effect. The goal isn't to look like an athlete. The goal is to make your resting body work slightly harder all the time. Strategy 4, cold exposure, what it actually does and what it doesn't. You've probably seen the ice bath content everywhere. The claims around cold exposure online are significant. So let me tell you what the research actually shows, because the real version is still worth doing. Your body does have brown adipose tissue, brown fat, which burns energy to generate heat rather than storing energy like regular fat does. Cold exposure activates this tissue. Studies using prolonged cold exposure protocols have demonstrated increased calorie burn and improvements in insulin sensitivity over time. The honest caveat is this: a 90-second cold shower at the end of your morning routine isn't going to burn hundreds of calories on its own. What it will do, done consistently over weeks, is contribute to a pattern of metabolic activation. improved insulin sensitivity, and measurably better alertness and mood throughout the day. Those downstream effects matter for weight loss even if the direct calorie burn of the cold itself is modest. Think of it less as a fat-burning hack, and more as a daily physiological reset that makes the other strategies work better. That's what the research actually supports. Strategy 5: Cortisol and Stress. The honest explanation. There's a version of this topic floating around online that says chronic stress causes you to gain fat even when you're eating in a caloric deficit. That version is not accurate, and I'm not going to repeat it here. Here's what is accurate. Chronic stress and elevated cortisol have real, documented effects on body composition that are worth understanding. First, high cortisol causes significant water retention, which shows up on the scale as weight that isn't fat but feels exactly like it. People under prolonged stress often look and feel heavier without having actually gained tissue. Second, and more importantly, elevated cortisol powerfully drives cravings for calorie-dense foods. The neurological pull toward sugar and fat under stress is not a character flaw. It's a documented hormonal response. This is how stress leads to overeating in the real world, not by breaking the laws of physics, but by making it extremely difficult to stay in a caloric deficit in the first place. Third, cortisol promotes muscle breakdown, which over time can lower your metabolic rate. The practical fix that research consistently supports is morning sunlight. 10 to 20 minutes of natural light within an hour of waking helps regulate your cortisol curve for the full day, keeping it appropriately elevated in the morning when you need energy and allowing it to drop in the evening when it should. This is free, simple, and has solid mechanistic support in chronobiology research. Strategy 6. Shift your eating window without changing what you eat. This is not a diet. What I'm describing is a timing adjustment, and the biological basis for it is real. Your body's ability to process carbohydrates efficiently, called insulin sensitivity, follows a daily rhythm. It tends to be higher in the morning and early afternoon, and lower in the late evening. This means that the same meal eaten earlier in the day generates a more efficient metabolic response than the same meal eaten late at night. Research on time-restricted eating has shown consistent results across multiple studies. People who compress their eating into a window that aligns with daylight hours tend to lose more body fat over time, even without reducing total food intake. The effect isn't enormous, but it's real and it's free. The practical change is simple. Try to finish your last meal 2 to 3 hours before bed. Don't add a meal at the beginning. Just gradually shift the end of your eating window earlier. That one adjustment, done consistently, removes a daily window where fat storage is at its most efficient. Strategy 7. Water, the simplest lever on this entire list. Your liver is the primary organ responsible for metabolizing stored fat, converts fat into usable energy, and your liver needs adequate hydration to perform that function efficiently. Mild dehydration, the kind most people walk around with all day, measurably reduces liver efficiency and slows fat metabolism as a direct result. Beyond that, dehydration is consistently misread by your brain as hunger. Multiple studies have shown that people frequently reach for food when what their body actually needs is water. Drinking a glass of water before responding to a hunger signal eliminates false hunger in a meaningful percentage of cases. The target is simple: roughly half your body weight in ounces of water per day. If you weigh 180 pounds, aim for around 90 ounces. Most people are well below that without realizing it. 3 habits that move the needle immediately. A full glass of water before coffee every morning. A glass of water 15 minutes before each meal. And a visible water bottle at your desk throughout the day. Start there. Closing. Here's what I want you to actually do after this video. Tonight, protect your sleep. 7 hours minimum, consistent schedule, cold dark room. Tomorrow morning, get outside for 10 minutes of sunlight before you look at your phone. Drink a full glass of water before your coffee. This week, add 1 10-minute walk to your day. That's it. 1 walk. Next week, add a second resistance training session and shift your last meal 30 minutes earlier than usual. These aren't dramatic changes, but they're changes your body will respond to because they're working with your biology instead of fighting it. And unlike dieting, they don't require you to be perfect every day to see results. Pick one. Start today. Add the next one when the first feels automatic. That's the whole system.